first of all, thank you so much for joining us, Advaith Sir.
Thank you so much
I'm
for having
sorry if
me.
I mispronounced. I'm so sorry. Everyone
You
has
did. You
different
did.
pronunciation, but we're trying in here. For those of
It's
you
totally
that
fine.
don't know, Sir is the director of the upcoming film Chatha Pacha. We're quite excited for it. Please tell us a bit about it.
So, Chatha Pacha is an upcoming action entertainer film, which is all out WWE based. If I'm right, it's India's first WWE based film. And we've got a very exciting cast, a very exciting crew, a lot of firsts for the Malayalam film industry, and it also happens to be my directorial debut, which I'm extremely grateful for. We'll be coming out in less than 2 months, actually, in Jan 2026. So yeah, I can't wait for you guys to see it.
Congratulations on your debut. It
Thank
is
you.
a huge accomplishment. It is not easy. And how does it feel seeing Chata Pacha getting so much attention before the release?
It's insane. I've not seen hype like this before because I've assisted in quite a few films, and like generally there's early hype like this when like you've got like a huge superstar like let's say Mohanlal Mammootty or something. But like what my production was able to do, I think you've spoken to my producer Shihaan, right? So what he was able to do, what something that was part of our early discussions itself was that we knew it might not be the biggest film around, so we were very clear that like it would be fresh if we can start putting out the word like as early as possible. But there's this film called Chatha Pacha coming out. This is what it's about. We hope you're as excited as us in like seeing this. So yeah, like we actually started putting out videos and promotional content right from pre-production. And so it's been crazy to see the Chatha Pacha Instagram page also grow by following, and like I've not seen uh, like numbers like this for like other film pages. I'm pretty sure there are, but still, it got to a point where we were like, okay, so like some people are getting to know about this film now, and then shoot started, and then hype just shot up like crazy, and we all were like, what's happening? Maybe but I think it all comes back to the point that this happens to be possibly the only like WWE based film around in India right now that's coming, and it's just been the hype has just been growing further and further, and it's extremely like humbling to see it, but as a first time filmmaker. It's also scary because there's a responsibility on us as a team to deliver on this hype, right? And I really hope we do. We're excited to see how the film is shaping up, but there's always that bit of like fear, you know?
Yes. Yes, I can imagine it might be nerve wracking. And you are doing, first of all, you're starting with a movie a concept that hasn't been done in India. From that, it is crazy. But still, like, I don't know, guys, if you have seen the Instagram page, which I recommend that you check it out. Because the content is so unique from the beginning, the little glimpses that we were getting from the main actors, from everyone around the cast. And I love one reference. I don't remember exactly which festival it was. That you had people dressed up like iconic characters, like the Undertaker. Then you have similar to Kane, and then they were just eating and eating like a thali of food, and and that was so hilarious, but at the same time relatable when it comes to the movie. How you were adapting both the outside characters to Indian local, especially now that the story is in Kerala, so local story, how they eat and happy the festival that it was in that moment. So I love how you guys have been so creative that okay, let's do this reference to the glasses that Shawn Michaels used to wear. Who comes up with these ideas?
Full credit to my producer Shihaan for this because most times I don't even know like what post will be coming out on a particular day. So like I'm sure you also know based on your conversation with him, Shihaan is a director himself, right? He's
Yes.
creative. He's not just my producer, he's my creative producer. He and his brother Ishan, who's also starring in the film, both of them have been supporting me in the best ways possible since the time we met and we decided to collaborate on this project. So as part of Shihan's promotional plan for this, like he has an incredible team, right? Everyone's very young, everyone's very energetic, and so like everyone's thinking of the next creative thing or the next big creative post that they can put out, and that's just how because when I think when you're handling an entire production like this, it can get very stressful. But like I can see that Shihan has a lot of fun with such posts. He and his entire team. So like the Sadhya post, right? The photo you saw of the wrestlers having Sadhya and all that. I had no idea that was coming. I saw that like right before it came out, and I think we were in Shoutout. I know I was with my direction team, and we all saw it together, and we were like, "Wow, this is so cool." Likewise, another post that I really like, uh, something that just suddenly came to my head was during our shoot, he had put out this post of like our stunt team practicing a particular stunt, and you know how you can like click on that carousel, the Instagram carousel, like scrolling thing, and like when
Yes.
you hold that and you move, like you see the stuntman doing that stunt itself, and a lot of different things like that, and especially the different edits, the short video edits that we've been putting out as well. That's also like that goes through Shihan. Like he's the one who finally checks everything, and then like we get to see some of it as well. But mostly we are just like focusing on shoot, like the edit or something. So that's been all him. Like full credit to Shihan for that.
You can see the passion that is in the post and that is in this movie. You can see that it is not only, obviously in the end you have to earn money. It is not like that it is just free. But you can see that heart, like you have a lot of heart in this movie. It is not only about business. For stars, you made these cards for wrestling that no one has done in here, that you're making these wrestling cards. And then you are releasing so many things. Then she had told me that they will release merch and all. It is
Hmm.
quite new for a movie. We have seen this in the US, but we never see this in India. And how you guys came up with so many ideas for this?
These were all part of our very early discussions. I think while the script was being developed, these were sort of discussions that we were having because it hasn't been easy to mount this film at all. So um, plans like this, like, you know, that if this film ever happens, we should probably put out some wrestling cards. If this film ever happens, we should put out a merchandise, like a bunch of like t-shirts and like other memorabilia. We should probably put out action figures, things like this. These were just things that we used to discuss to keep this dream alive. Uh, and I can't tell you how cool it is to see it all coming to life. Because like a lot of that is still works in progress. Like I've seen a few of the wrestling cards that are coming up, like with our superstars like faces on it. I've seen early designs for the merchandise that's coming up as well. It's all so exciting.
Yes, of course. And do you have any idea when we might get the merch? Because I know at least my husband, he is so excited for the cars because he himself is a huge wrestling fan, and then a wrestling movie is like, no, Cami, we have to buy this. We will buy it and we will put it in our studio, and then we will do this and that. He's so happy about the movie. You have any idea?
Oh man. I actually have no clear idea about like when these might be coming out, but I know I'm waiting for these as eagerly as you are. I have a bunch of like friends over here who said that they want the first few of these merch items like whenever it comes out as well. So unfortunately, I don't have a clear idea right now.
It's fine. I think most likely nearby the release of the movie. And I know there will be queue for this merch. I know 100% it will be in that queue. Yeah, it will. And like this. Another question that I wanted to ask you it is that, well, I'm really happy that you're doing this collaboration with Dharma Productions. It is a huge thing. It is not something that should be just taken out lightly. And how did it work? How was this partnership between Dharma Productions and Mythri movie makers? Like how you managed to make it happen?
Oh, again, I've got to say that was also my producer Shihaan and his team, because Dharma, I think discussions. Shihaan told me that discussions for this had started like I think when our shoot was happening. And a lot of these discussions got to start because of the hype that we've been able to somehow build for this film, right? I think, I don't know, I'm guessing companies, big giant companies like these are extremely picky in what they choose. And for Dharma to collaborate with us as their first Malayalam film is crazy, right? Because the number of films that we've seen where that musical logo begins, and to even think of the idea of like the Hindi version of our film like starting with that same sort of logo, it's it's so cool. Same with Mythri as well. I know Mythri has done a film in Malayalam before, but they are also a huge production house, very selective in their projects. They maintain the highest standards of quality. So again, it's lovely to see that they want to collaborate with us as well. So I'm very excited about this. Likewise, all the other collaborations that we've set, like even if it's PVR Inox or yeah, even Wayfarer Films doing our Malayalam distribution, because Wayfarer Films is right now one of the biggest
Yes.
production houses in Malayalam as well. Like they just had like a huge monstrous hit here called Lokah. So, and
Yeah.
they've been very creative in how they've like marketed that film as well. So I'm excited to see how all these collaborations work out.
Yes, and it is amazing that although it is quite, you can say that what you're trying to target, it is not easy, which is mostly wrestling fans, but also making it relatable for other people. And me and my husband, we watch a lot of Malayalam movies, and still we don't get the proper sometimes subtitles. Sometimes we don't get the Hindi dubbing, and that you were able to achieve that, it is huge because usually they don't get the dubbing. So again, congratulations. And I
Thank
have this
you.
question. We've been talking, and I know you're mostly a movie buff, and
Mhm.
you're not that much of a wrestling fan. How did you prepare for a wrestling movie?
So, I can't say I'm not a wrestling fan because I was a huge fan growing up. It's just I'm not fully updated on like the current like the like all the current wrestlers as much. Like I used to watch wrestling back when John Cena was just coming up as a big wrestler, right? So I used to watch it around the 2000s mainly, which is uh, which is where most of the references in our film also lie, like WWE wise, right? So, which is why I always tell people, yes, of course, all the cool WWE stunts that we all love are there in the film. It's going to be like power packed, action packed, just like you saw in the teaser. But more than it being a wrestling film, it's a wrestling nostalgia film. Where like it's a story for like especially people our age or like just the young audience in general, for us like watch these stunts on screen and see these references on screen and be like, oh my God, I lived through that era. Like, that was my favorite move. That was my favorite moment. There are not just stunts that we've recreated in our own way. There are also certain like funny moments. There are a lot of comedic and a lot of like iconic videos that we've like non-stunt videos also that we've seen from WWE. And more importantly, along with saying that it's a wrestling nostalgia film, it's not just about WWE itself. So this idea itself me started from this thought of like, so people who don't just like how us filmmakers, like people who don't get like make a big film, what do they do? So just like that, people who want to become like big WWE wrestlers and they don't make it to like the so-called big leagues like WWE itself, what do they do? And that sort of research led me into discovering smaller wrestling clubs that exist throughout cities in the US and even countries like Mexico and all that, where
Yes.
you have like working class people. Like, like let's say you have a taxi driver, you have a person who works at a bank, you have a butcher, you have a kindergarten teacher, and you have people like these who like work their 9 to 5 jobs, and then like once or twice a week they'll wind up their work, and then they will catch the metro, go to a local public school's basketball court that they've taken out on rent. They'll bring in a few of their, like, um, a few of these things that they've made on their own, and they set up a ring by themselves. They help each other put on their costumes, and they live out their dreams that they couldn't bring fully to life. But, it's a way of not giving up on your dreams. And that's what this film is about. That's where the true inspiration comes from. And then it grew into like references about WWE and the sort of stunts that we all grew up loving. So yeah, that's what, that also brings me to the point of this being a true underdog story at its heart. Again, the cool WWE stunts and like all of that, glitz and glamour and action and all of that. But it's a story essentially of a bunch of friends who are trying to make it together. So that's what
Yes.
it comes down to. That's where the
Yes,
heart is at.
it is mostly indie wrestling, from what I'm understanding. And I'll tell you something funny. I told this to Shihaan. Um, my grandma, like
Hmm.
till she passed away 2 years ago. And after that, we were talking about her with my family on the phone. And then I came to know she was a wrestler when she was younger.
What?
And yes, and I was so mind blown. Like my grandma, grandma,
That's so
she
cool.
used to be a wrestler, and she never told me. Like so many times I talked to her, I spent so much time with her. My mom was there, and then my mom was like, "Your husband likes wrestling, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." You know, your grandma was a wrestler. I was like, "What?" Yes, she was a wrestler. She
What a
was the
cool
white
story.
mask. Yes,
Oh,
and I was so mind blown. Like I didn't even know that wrestling was connected to my family at some point. Like obviously we knew this
mhm.
Kane Undertaker because they were so iconic. But to know that my grandma was jumping from the ropes and doing stunts, it is
That's
crazy.
that's insane. Oh my
Yes.
God, you've got this is like the coolest story to tell people at like a party or something. You'll instantly be like the coolest person there.
Yes, my grandma was something else. I still wonder how she managed everything because she had three daughters, and then she also used to work, and my grandpa used to work. How she managed
Mhm.
it is beyond me. And that time we're talking
Oh.
long time ago when it wasn't common
And
for women to be wrestlers.
yeah, and where was this? Was this back in Colombia?
Yes, in Colombia, like usually people know Mexico for wrestling,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but in other parts of Latin America, they also
Mhm.
have these indie wrestling places, which I wasn't familiar. And if you find online, there's even in this country, Bolivia,
Hmm.
there's women, they're fighting in their traditional dresses. They have their very
Oh.
their skirts and everything, and they're just fighting like that, even with hats and all. It is
Oh
crazy
yes,
how
I've seen one or
they.
two videos of this. Like I think it's there in my saved references and all that.
Yes,
That
yes, they're
that
like
sort of
that.
wrestling, I've seen a video of like two women fighting in such dresses where the surroundings were way more colorful than like other wrestling setups that you see. Like, a lot of like strong reds, yellows, greens and all that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. So even if you go to Peru, this Machu Picchu area, in
Hmm.
there they have as an attraction to watch local people do wrestling
That's
and
lovely.
how they do it, everything. It is crazy. Like, I discovered so many things even after coming to know about this Chatha Pacha. I started checking more around my area, how they're
Okay.
doing.
Hmm.
And I also came to know there are so many things related to wrestling that I didn't know, and I'm a local in that area. So
Oh, damn.
wrestling is around everywhere for everyone, even
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah.
don't realize it.
Interestingly enough, there's a lot of like indie wrestling establishments around Kerala as well. So when this film was announced, like I think three different wrestling groups from different parts of Kerala reached out to us, and like they were saying that they'd be happy to collaborate in any way that they can and all that. So it's so cool to see that like everywhere you go, like there is some sort of wrestling connection. It's really nice. It's one of those like unifying factors of our generation, I guess.
Yes, yes. There still nowadays it is not the same. My husband he still watches
Mhm.
wrestling, but the enjoyment you used to get earlier when you would see like The Rock giving a speech, or you will see the Stone Cold coming on the
Yeah.
stage. It is very different from nowadays. It is not quite the same. So
But I'm also
let's
hearing
see.
that numbers-wise, WWE has become much bigger than ever. Like especially with
Hmm.
the move to Netflix and things like that. I think that's what like my gang was telling me. Like at one point, I know there was a dip in terms of viewership, and then I heard that now it's bigger than ever. But my era, like the 2000s era, like remains my favorite.
Yeah, it is not the same. If we're talking from the perspective that you want to watch the story, which if you want to watch often, it is not like that. It was like that
Mm.
last year when Roman Reigns was in peak, when he was the head
Okay.
of the table. He's still the head of the table when he had his gang and all that stuff. That time it was super entertaining. You couldn't miss an episode. It was like that.
Oh,
But
right.
currently, they have been improving a bit, but
Hmm.
mostly because John Cena is retiring. But the main question is what will happen after that. How they will manage,
Oh,
who they will put as the
yeah.
main face, if it will continue. So, but in the end, yeah, it is not quite the same. And
Right.
earlier, the matches that you used to see, they were bloody, they were super realistic, they were raw. Nowadays, it is
Hmm.
not the same. They have a lot of
Right. Right.
safety standards, so it is a bit different. But yeah,
Oh man.
let
Interestingly enough, around the time when I had slowly reduced watching WWE like regularly because of studies and whatnot, it was around the time that these new guys at that time like Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns and all was just coming up.
mm,
So now
yes,
when I occasionally check out these shows, it's crazy to see how they're at the top, right? And
yeah,
like John Cena is like sort of like slowly winding up and all.
yes, it is the end of an era, sadly,
Truly,
that we're
truly.
seeing all these amazing wrestlers, but it is well deserved. They have done, they are a huge influence in current generation. Everyone knows who is John Cena. So it is
Yeah.
not a legacy that will die easily, and hopefully it will continue. Because wrestling is like that, that it is like a soap opera. You have the story, but you also have wrestling. So they should be able to continue the storylines. Like I always say, my husband, it is a soap opera for men. It has that he got betrayed
Absolutely.
by her. This
Yeah, 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 yeah.
it is it
Absolutely.
is
Yeah.
hilarious. Yeah, it is. I'm sorry if some wrestling fan is watching and they're feeling offended, but if you think like that,
Sorry.
it is a soap
Sorry.
opera for men.
No, no, but I'm sure you meant it in a nice way, and it's true. Like, it's yeah, thinking back to like how we used to react to like certain like big twists and all that, and go to school the next day and like tell our boys like, did you see that? And like, yeah, how could
Yeah.
he?
Yeah, like he got betrayed and then he cheated with this person and then she came back. How he did that? Even when my husband
Yeah.
told me these storylines that used to happen with Edge and Lita, and like, if you watch a normal soap opera, you'll get the same storyline but without the wrestling and the action. It will just be more simple. But is there
Yeah.
nowadays they're not able to achieve that type of tension that you used to get back in the day. Like we have to see what will happen next episode with their relationship.
Yeah. 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 Oh, absolutely.
And
I remember there were like weddings on WWE back in the
yes,
day. Right?
yes, yes, yes. There were
Yeah.
weddings, even
Th-
these wedding nights they had in there.
There were like custody battles in the form of WWE matches, if I'm right.
It was
Oh,
crazy. Yeah,
yeah.
nowadays it is not possible, but that time was something else. And
Yeah.
another question I had for you is that what was your journey? Because I know you were aspiring and this is your debut. So
Hmm.
what generally we don't know. I always have this doubt how it
Hmm.
was for you because I know it is a struggle to be able to reach to where you are now that you're a director.
Yeah, I'm still in disbelief at the fact that I've like actually like shot an entire film right now. So so yeah, even now I'm still kind of shy to like say I'm Advaith Nayar, I'm a director. So I'm still just like getting used to that. But like my friends say, I should just like own it because we've worked for the past like almost a decade to like get to this point. So yeah, I'm still getting used to that. But in terms of journey, do you want to know like from when I started assisting or like how this film came about?
When you started assisting, we want to know about you.
Oh man. Okay, so I sort of like I used to enjoy making videos of my friends like pranking each other. This was back way back in like ninth and 10th grade. And like I grew up with my grandparents mostly, and my granddad used to let me go hang out with my friends in the weekends. And I just gotten my first little smartphone, and I enjoyed like going out with my boys, seeing them prank each other, go around the city. And I used to like record all of those. I used to put it all up in a free video editor and sort of like add some music to it, make like a cut, and then it just I used to show it to my boys, and I realized that I really enjoyed seeing the reactions that they had. It was just from showing my friends. And then I used to play gully cricket with some other like kids in the neighborhood. And again, I started making these videos of just cricket. And the way I'd edit it, I'd sort of like with titles and everything, I started adding music and making it look like a war between two clans. And I sort of like made a few videos of that. And again, I just used to enjoy showing my friends and their parents and like just seeing their reactions and all that. And that slowly made me realize that like, I think I enjoy making videos. And so I used to we used to have this regular thing where I used to record my friends throughout the summer and make like this summer music video. And then there'd be like Diwali celebration music video, there'd be a Christmas video, something like that. And that's when I slowly started realizing that maybe I should make a short film because two, three of my other friends were making short films and all. So right after my board exams in 12th grade, I made my first short film, which was over 40 minutes long. And that sort of helped me realize that I want to go to film school. And so I had applied for engineering in a college in Bangalore, and I sort of like managed to get out of that like right before it started, and I went to film school in Hyderabad, did a 4-year bachelor's degree, during which I got access to a lot of equipment and a lot of films, a lot of books, a lot of uh, like-minded people with whom I could have like quality conversations about film. I got exposed to a lot of world cinema, and it was right before my final year, in my summer vacation before my final year, that I reached out to a brilliant filmmaker called Geetu Mohandas. She was an actor. She's now a filmmaker. And her first film had gone to Sundance Film Festival. It's called Liar's Dice. Her husband, Mr. Rajiv Ravi. Rajiv sir is a very accomplished cinematographer, director. He actually got a national award for cinematography for Geetu's, I call it Geetu Chichi, for Geetu Chichi's um, first film. So I reached out to her because I heard she was making a film with a big star here called Niven Pauly. The film was called Muthon. So I asked her if I can assist her, and she told me that they have a Kochi schedule coming up and that I can assist in that. So that's how I first got into this, into like assisting in films. And that was a very short schedule. I had to go back to college after that. But towards the end of my course, I reached out to her again, and she was in the middle of, sorry, she was just getting started with post production. And I stayed with her for over a year after that, like helping her write different projects. Uh, and we I sort of like I still tell a lot of people that when you assist, if you there's certain things that we as young filmmakers hope or expect to learn by assisting, and generally by being on set we might not be able to learn those things, like how a director makes certain choices, because a director is not like they're not looking like teach you while they're trying to like get a whole big film made, right? So they're just trying to get stuff done, and you've got to help them get stuff done. So your job becomes more managerial at that point. But if you work in pre-production or if you assist in post-production, then I feel like you get to learn much more from the filmmaker about the craft, and it also becomes way more of a one-on-one sort of thing because there's no like 10 assistant directors with that director at that point. It's just one post-production AD, or there's just one director's assistant, which I was to Geetu. I got to learn so much from her. and I got to learn so much from Rajiv sir as well. And I went on to assist on my second film, which was directed by Rajiv sir. It was a film called Turumugam. It means the harbor. So that was a period film and a much bigger scale and all that. Oh, by the way, Geet Chichi right now is directing one of India's biggest upcoming film. It's called Toxic. It's starring
Yes, yes,
in KGF.
yes.
So she's out there like doing like huge things right now. And but yeah, it's so nice to see how happy is she is for us for being able to make our first film and all that. So yeah, I worked with Rajiv sir, and then around that time in 2019 is when the first seed of this idea of what later became Chatha Pacha came to me. It was a much more neo-noirish version of itself because I was heavily influenced by certain filmmakers in the West, like Nicholas Winding Refn. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, and a lot of like very stylistic filmmakers, right? So it was a very serious version. It was a very serious wrestling film that was like set in the underbelly of like a certain part of this town and all that. And so yeah, but I tried to make a screenplay of that, but no one really believed in it. And like I think they were right. Like that was not the best version of itself. So a lot of big actors here who I met and pitched to, they told me that like no one will believe that there's this sort of a wrestling thing happening in Kochi because nothing like that happens. And so I sort of like gave up on it because a lot of people told me it won't work out. So I sort of like gave up on that, and then I started assisting on my next film. I got to assist a very accomplished filmmaker called Geetu Joseph, who's most famous for his Drishyam film series. Right, so I got to assist him on a film starring the legendary Mr. Mohanlal, and right after that, I got to assist like Mohanlal sir himself in a film that he directed called Baros, and that was a 3D fantasy film. Uh,
Yes.
and right after that is when I started working on ads, because I felt like, like working on films might take too much time and I might like slowly lose sight of like my dream, which is to direct itself. If I'm stuck on like very big projects like the ones that I had assisted on, which I'm very grateful for, but like it took a lot of time and effort like finish these projects, right? So I thought then working on ads, sort of like it's shorter commitments and also paid much better. So
Yes.
I got like assist on a few ads while working on some other projects and some scripts that I had. And I got to assist a lot of like accomplished like ad filmmakers. And that's when I understood that like the advertising industry, especially like the biggest filmmakers in the advertising industry over here, the standards at which they operate are insane. The references that they're looking at are like they're all amazing. Like those are references that like we in the feature filmmaking space were not even like looking at. Like I discovered a lot of new referencing websites, a lot of new resources, and the way because they were making like 1 or 2 minute films, right? Every second really mattered to them. And so like the amount of retakes they'd go for or the precision in terms of like how they direct or yeah, just things like that, just attention to detail. I got to learn from like assisting in ads. Um, and the script that I was mainly pitching around that point was a comedy drama. It's still a script that's very dear to me and I hope to make it someday. And as part of meeting different producers, one such producer that I got to meet was a gentleman called Mr. Shihaan Shaukat, who at that point had just decided to start a production house and was listening to different sort of scripts. And I got to meet him through a common friend of ours called Varun, who is currently assisting Geet Chichi in that big film Toxic that I was talking about. So he sort of connected us because I was a, a new filmmaker and he was a new producer. And so like we met along with Shan's brother Ishan as well. And we discussed this comedy drama and like they liked the story, but like I think they were thinking way bigger, which you're seeing right now in the way they are like putting in the way they're putting this film out, right? So I think they were thinking way bigger and they wanted to something else to connect to. And so they just happened to ask me a while later, like they just asked me like, do you have anything else? Just casually in the middle of a conversation. I said, yeah, there was this like old wrestling idea that I had, but like I don't think it'll work out. Like no one really believed in it. And they're like, oh, wrestling idea, like what's that like? And I like I'd given up on it so much that I didn't even like want to pitch it. So I had this old pitch deck which I had made using Photoshop and all that. It's still a very nice pitch deck that in terms of design and all that. So I just showed it to them and they read it over 5 minutes. Then they were just like very quiet. And we got into Shihaan's car. We were driving around. I played them a few of my old music references. And then I just started like talking about scenes in general and all that. And they were like, okay, that sounds pretty cool. And we didn't really like arrive at any conclusion. And the next day, Shihaan, we met in Dubai because my parents live there and I visit occasionally. So I came back to Kochi. Shihaan texted me asking, like, can you send me the screenplay of that? And I sent it to him. And then a few days later, he sent me this long message saying, bro, I don't know if this is the right thing to say, but I really think you're sleeping on the story. This one has a lot of potential. I think this is the one that we should be developing. The screenplay that I had sent, he was very clear about the fact that, that isn't the best version of itself, but I see a very good version of it. Uh, if we can treat it another way. And so by then, I had a couple of notes that other actors had told me when I pitched the earlier version to them, like, if this were a more fun version of itself, or if it were a much more colorful version of itself, and something way more relatable, it it might be nice. And back then, I was sort of like thinking, no, but that's not that stylish. It's not as neo-noirish. And by then, it had been a few years, so those notes came back to me, and I started like reworking that, and I used to keep sharing it with Shan and Shan, and then like we just started like jamming together, like every time when they were in Kochi, or we'd get on like Zoom calls and like discuss this. And over time, we just kept discussing and developing and discussing and developing. And like we tried to reach out to different actors and just like the struggles of a new director and a new producer trying to mount a project. Obviously, that was there. And so it took time and it helped us like just keep polishing the script. And along the way, like we had a very creative, fun writer called Sanup Taikodam join us. He's written the screenplay and dialogues. He and his two very talented associates, Amal Shah and Adarsh, they were able to help us like create a very Kochi version of this story. Like, something very flavorful. Like, it's not just wrestling, it's very Kochi. It's very
Rooted.
Malayali as well. Yeah, because
Yes.
I'm guessing you're getting an idea that like, my thoughts are inherently pretty Western. And so that was something I was aware of, that my Western sort of aesthetics might be a bit too much, or like might be the wrong fit for like this story. So I knew I needed like a very local flavor to that. And that's what my writing team was able to bring in. And so yeah, so that's the very long version of my journey so far.
Thank you so much for sharing it. And it just reminds us that sometimes our biggest mistake is just stop believing in us. And
Yeah.
I think all of us have this issue that in between we stop, like me and my husband, we have this ThalaBuddy, right?
Hmm.
And in the beginning, our vision, what it is to give honest reviews. That is our. Because what happens, we love movies. We watch movies all the time. Even we fell in love because of movies. And once we were watching reviews, sometimes you get reviews that you don't agree with. You get reviews that they're not genuine. They're just for having a good face with the filmmakers. So we started a channel saying, okay, let's start trying to give reviews. We are
Hmm.
both camera conscious. We struggle with the camera. It is not visible, but we are. And for the first year, it was so on and off, on and off, on and off that in between we thought like we should quit this, maybe we should leave it. And then in between we got people's message that no, your content is good. Please do. I believe in your reviews, and we have reached till now that now we're able to do podcasts with people like you, directors, producers,
Yeah.
actors. it is still mind blowing, and that's what I loved about your story, that it is realistic, that we many times we stop believing in ourselves, that sometimes we need
Mm,
someone to
yeah,
believe in us to be able to move
absolutely.
ahead.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm so glad that you were able to make it, that you're able to
yeah,
be
yeah.
now
I'm
director,
so
that now
glad.
you have this title.
Yeah, I'm so glad that I found the people that I did because um, things like this really make me believe in God a bit extra. Because I don't mean to make this very emotional, but like I don't know where these guys came from. Like just out of nowhere at a time where um, that so-called struggling phase was happening, and then out of nowhere, these guys come, and it's like you know what I mean? Like this is not even like because I was only trying to contact like producers that I knew over here, like the names that we generally like reach out to and all that. And this was a producer that I just got connected to very organically, and it's turned into collaborations. That's not at all like a director producer sort of collaboration like with Shihaan Nishan. It's just been creator and creator and creator, that sort of like collaboration. Those lines are very blurred. We are doing everything together. So
Yes.
it's crazy, and even the sort of team that I've been blessed to work with, right? Like huge names, like Shankar San Loy's first Malayalam film. That's insane. Like Shankar San Loy can easily just like get to work with one of the big names over here, and the fact that like they are working on my first film, like my first directorial, is crazy. I used to back when I was like starting to realize that filmmaking might be my thing in 2013 or 12 or something like that. A very cool film, a dark comedy slash action sort of film called Neram had come out. Neram means time. And there was this young cinematographer who was debuting in that film called Anand C. Chandran. Then he went on to make some like very big films after that. Big films like Premam and like the legendary Mr. Mammootty's Bhishma and all that. Like insane visuals. So I was saying like it's that very same cinematographer Ansi Chandran who I got to work with on my first directorial. And Anand has been like one of my biggest blessings because like I'm so weak when it comes to colors and like things like costumes and like combinations like that. So there's even things that are supposed to be done by me. It's like taken care of by my team. Like the costumes for a particular scene, like options come to us, and then like I always need to rely on like my cinematographer Anandatan's help. Like he's the one who like selects the colors for me. I always like just honestly tell him that very clearly tell him that I can't do this. Like colors just don't come to me like that. Because when we made short films, right, we didn't have the luxury of choosing colors in terms of costumes or in terms of space. You ask a person whether we can use their space and you just use it the way it is. You use your friend's clothes as it is. And so I never got to do that. And so it's through this film that I've gotten a bit better at like colors and like what the best combinations might be and everything. So like there are a lot of different collaborators. My art director Sunil Das, like incredible work by them. Like you'll see that when the trailer and the film comes out. There's also been Kalai Kingston who did our stunts. Like Kalai Master's work is already famous. Like he's one of the biggest names in the South Indian stunt scene because he's done big films like Marco and a lot of other films. And then there is my closest collaborator right now, which is my editor, Mr. Praveen Prabhakar. He's edited some of my favorite films that I grew up watching, like Ustad Hotel and Bangalore Days and Parava and Iyopinna Pustagam and like uh, all these cool films. And like it's so cool to be editing an our film in a studio room which has posters of all these big films. And along with that, he's put a poster of our film as well. How cool, right? So like that,
Yes.
there's so many people. There's Mujib Majid, who's another huge like music composer in Malayalam. He's doing a original score, and there's a lot of names I'm missing right now. But like, it's just I'm the only new guy here. That's like That's the bottom line. I'm the only new guy, and I'm just saying, and I'm just telling all these like super senior people that this is what I want. Please help us make it. And they're like, yeah, we got you, man. We'll do the rest. So, so
It's
yeah,
a full circle moment for you that
in
the people
yeah,
you grew up with.
incredibly full circle. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, and I saw one post that Mammootty Sir went to visit you in the when you
To
were
visit
filming.
the set? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That
how it
happened.
was for you.
It was crazy because he was there the day he won the state award. So I got to spend a few moments with him. Like there were a lot of people, so like it wasn't like a one-on-one sort of conversation, but it was really special because I've seen a lot of actors in person, but like him, I've not really seen in person. And I've heard like his aura is crazy, Camilla. Like you know when he is about to arrive. You know, and I'm genuinely not exaggerating. You know when he's about to arrive, like the entire atmosphere just like changes, and then he slowly like walks in and he looks around and he's so observant. It's amazing. But he was very happy that day. He was uh, he was speaking to all the media people and everything, and like we got to arrange a cake for him and everything. So yeah, it's really special.
Amazing. I think I haven't been able to meet anyone big, but I think those are moments that feel larger than life for you.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
it is so surreal. And when we saw that reel that he went
Hmm.
there and he was meeting everyone, and we're like, wow. Usually they don't take the time. It is like, okay, TK, you do. But that he's able to take the time, and this is something that we have always liked about Malayalam industry, that you guys are so open to newcomers, that you are not like only nepo. We only want that. No, it is more like, okay, you're welcome, we will teach you, we will help you, you're allowed to come in, you can do your movie. And then these huge actors, that it is not only that he's famous in Kerala, he's famous everywhere in India, everyone knows who he is.
Hmm.
And that this guy, he's coming to you, and okay, it is looking good, this, it is something else.
Yeah, and Mamuka, as the entire state lovingly calls him, like Mamuka has been so supportive of new filmmakers and like yeah, like he's supported so many filmmakers by like starring in their debuts. I think yeah, amongst senior actors, he's the actor who's worked with the maximum number of like newcomer directors. Likewise, like even Lal sir as well. Like he's so welcoming of like new ideas and everything. About like when you said the term nepo, like I've got to admit over here, like I haven't like come in like the uh, pr truly like the hard way, because I'm the nephew of Mr. Mohanlal, and like so I have
Mhm.
had a lot of
Yes.
help like getting started. Like, for example, not just Lal sir, I call him Lal Mama. So not just Lal Mama, it's also been his wife, who's my aunt. I call her name is Suchitra. So both of them have like helped me a lot. Like I first got connected to my first director who I assisted, Geetu, because of a call that like Suchanti made to her brother and who helped her connect to, who then later connected me to Geetu eventually. So like in things like that, or even meeting certain actors, I've gotten a lot of help. It's just that like I wasn't able to make anything of it, and then like, but the way this film happened was like way more organic. But throughout the way, they've been so supportive. They've helped me all along the way. I know like Mamuka and his team had shared our teaser. Lal sir as well, like shared the teaser. I had the privilege of like personally going and showing him our film's teaser like a week before it came out, and it was so nice to see his reaction to this. Like he watched it again and again, and so did his wife and their kids. My cousins were also there, and it was like really cool because it's uh, it's not just support that's come suddenly now that I'm putting out a film. It's support that's been there right from the beginning. Like right from when I was trying to make a film and things like that. So yeah, these legends, they like that's the bottom line. Like how supportive these legends have been to young filmmakers and just like new kids on the block.
Yes, yes. We have seen many actors. I didn't mean only like you by itself, but there are so many great actors that we have seen lately that they are just coming inside and they're like becoming big. We have seen not only guys, we have seen girls. I we always say with my husband, whenever you watch a movie, there's a new actress, there's a new heroine, there is someone new in the supporting cast. And what I mean by nepo, it is not the fact that you're the nephew or you're whoever you are, uh, XYZ in the industry, but the main thing you need is talent. And
Mhm.
this is something that it bothers me a lot that you can be nepo, you can be whoever you want, but as long as you have talent, that is the main thing that why you should have the opportunity. It is not only because you're the son or the daughter or the nephew or the granddaughter of X person. Like with you, you're passionate about it. You are focused on the filmmaking. It is what you love, and you have talent for that. That's why you also got the place. You also struggled, and you learned. It wasn't like you got it in a silver plate. Like here's your first film. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No,
That's true. That's true.
it is quite
Yeah.
different that you struggle for the chance, you struggle for the opportunity, even you got rejected, and still somehow you were
Quite a
able
lot.
to, and still you managed to bring something that you were passionate about. Well, in other places, and I'm not saying only in Bollywood, I'm saying also in other industries, we see that we don't have such talented people, but still they just keep getting places and places and places. I don't see this in this Malayalam industry. I see that it is okay. Even if you're Nepo, you also have to struggle. You have to show your talent. And once you show and you prove yourself, then you do. We have DQ. He's amazing. I didn't know when I watched the first movie from him that he was the son of Mammootty Sir.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
my first movie in the movie theater from him, it was this King of Kota.
Hmm.
And I went to watch it, and I was so in awe watching him. It was like an out of the body experience for me watching him. I was like, who is this handsome guy? And then my husband, Irae, this guy, he is the son of Mammootty Sir. I was like, he is, because they look very different. So I didn't get it. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
wow, he's so talented. He's able to now even he brought this Lokah. It is
See,
amazing what the talent that
that's
you
how
guys have.
all these artists are just like supporting each other in the industry. That's like yeah, Dulquer, he's working all around South India. Like he works in Malayalam films, Tamil films. His latest film is a Telugu film. Um, so yeah, and he's doing such great work over there while supporting like newer filmmakers over here. By like Lokah was in no way a small film, right? And to support a team like that takes a lot of guts, it takes a lot of like conviction, it takes a lot of trust. And yeah, because there's so many decisions and all that go into that. And like you have a lot of actors like producing and like enabling other filmmakers and even like helping other actors come up a lot in our industry. And like you said, regarding the audience here, like, one of my favorite things about the Malayalam film industry, possibly even more than filmmakers, is the audience. Right, because we, as an audience in theaters here, I think we can be extremely welcoming of new people, but we can also be pretty tough. Like, if we get anything less than like great work, like we will let it be known. But that said, it's not like we as an audience will like reject people who are like coming out of nowhere or anything. Like we, yeah, that's just the idea of it. I think audiences in general, but like that's my favorite thing about Kerala audiences.
Yes, they even in our channel they support us much. I think till now only one time we have received gali from this
Mm.
industry when we give the review for this. I still struggle. I don't know how you pronounce that name of the movie. It's from D Ray. I think it is like
DSA?
that.
Yeah,
Yes, yes, that
this new
movie.
film?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yes. We gave the review, and it for us it is irrelevant who is starring. What we
yeah.
feel, we will tell you. That's point. So we said that we enjoyed the movie. The first half for us it was like masterpiece. First up, it was amazing. Throughout the movie, the acting, everything worked for us. Acting was amazing. Everything was great. But the second half felt a bit weak. We saw some loopholes. And we
Mm-hmm.
mentioned, like, okay, we saw this loophole. Like, why this happened? How it was connected. We wanted to know that. And we give it like a 3. We received so much gali in the comment section. We were amazed that usually this Malayalam industry, they don't do. They understand, they listen to your opinion, and they're like, huh, Tiger, thank you so much. And even if we're wrong, because we will be wrong, it is not like that our reviews are perfect. We make many mistakes sometimes we skip some information. They inform us, which is
Mm-hmm.
something that I personally like. That you, as an audience, you tell me if we did a mistake, if we skipped
Mm-hmm.
something in a review that we didn't understand. You tell us why you think that the movie is a 4 or a 5.
Mm-hmm.
You talk to us. We always reply in the comment section, but they didn't give any explanation. They didn't give any, like, no, this point is wrong because of this, that. It
Mm-hmm.
was the first time that we got
Fair enough.
genuinely shocked, but
And I know you're a
overall,
big fan of horror as well.
yes, we love horror so much. If someday you want to make a horror movie, please, I will be so happy. We need more horror films in India. And that's why
I
we
feel
were
you.
so excited for that movie. We were so hyped up. We even talked to Jami. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
you know him.
Uh,
Jami
no.
Vance from Try and Refuse Productions.
Oh, yes, 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 I know. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. We were talking to him and we were like, we're so excited about this movie. We want to watch it because whichever horror movie comes, we watch. It's like we will watch whichever country language it comes. Me and my husband will be loyal to that and we will just watch it. So we were talking to him like, no, you also go watch it and you let us know what you think. So, and even he received gali from people
Oh, my.
when he
Oh, damn.
gave his review about the movie, and it was like, we are not criticizing the guy. The guy's acting was amazing, but when there are loopholes in the story, you also have to uh, be a bit reasonable when it comes to that. And
Definitely.
I
You
know
are, yeah, you as an audience, of course, you're entitled to your own opinion, right?
even when we watch this latest movie, I'm very bad with names. This latest Thamma, we
Mm-hmm.
skipped some things that
Oh.
when we had our podcast with that director, then he said, "Oh, it will happen because of this and because of that." Then you're like, "Yes, I made a mistake," and then you can rectify. But you don't give us any. Even you as a director, and I would love to see this more from directors, not only to us, but to other people. That if you see that we're saying some wrong information, not only because you're defending the honor of your film, but
Mm-hmm.
because you feel like, okay, you might skip this, you might have felt this because, okay, you missed this. It is great. You, and there's something that is missing a lot of the in the community, is that
Mm-hmm.
people are not together. We all love cinema. You're an actor, you're a director, you're a producer, you're a reviewer, whatever you are. We all love movies. We all bless you. We all love this industry, and it is sad
Absolutely.
to see that people, they just fight. We want to have a good conversation. We have a want to have a good debate. Like, you might tell me today, Cami, I didn't like, I don't know, X movie. I don't know. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't like Frozen, and then I can tell you, no, Frozen is a masterpiece. And then you'll tell me, no, I think Frozen is better because of this and this and that, and I think no, it is because of this. And then healthy conversations,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Exactly. Yeah, it just
that
gets
is,
a bit dirty when like two people talking about like their respective opinions, things that like they are like fundamentally right. Like it's about like like healthy debate, like you said.
yes, that is what we want, and that's why I'm so happy that you are joining us here. 'Cause I know you will watch our reviews most likely when we will watch
Absolutely,
Chatha Pacha,
absolutely. Yeah,
and
I saw
I
the
know that
teaser
if
reaction. Yeah,
and now I get embarrassed.
no, it's been so nice. I got to watch a couple of teaser reactions to a teaser like on YouTube, and especially people who were just like watching it like without knowing much about the film, right? It's so cool to see their expressions like just like start like from normal. and then there's like one shot that's there in the middle of the teaser where the announcer screams, and then the camera goes back and like reveals all the wrestlers. Fun fact, that shot was designed for us to like place in the teaser itself. It's there in the film. It's part of a big wrestling sequence and everything. But I always knew that that was gonna be a shot that's most probably gonna make it to the teaser. So when that shot comes and some of these reactions, it's so nice to see people's eyes going from like, wait, what? And then the camera continues to go back and they're like, what? Oh, it's a wrestling film? And then it's so cool. Like it's all like in a lot of ways it heals that part of you that's struggled for so long.
Yes, it
So yeah.
is. I cannot imagine what you feel inside of you, and
Mhm.
I'll tell you something that please compliment the person in charge of the dresses. I love the auntie sari that is with stripes.
Melwy J, he's one of the top costume designers over here. You should meet Melwy, or you should actually go to his Instagram as well. You should see how how cool Melvy's dressing is. Like, and his general aura is so cool. Like every time he comes to a set, he looks so different from from the way he did last time, and he's been incredible in the sort of like way he's pushed the limits of like how far we can take things in terms of like a Malayali wrestling film. He's done such an incredible job. I wanted everything in terms of art and costumes to feel very scrappy. Like it had to feel like like anyone with in terms of costumes, like if anyone knows basic stitching, they can like put together a bunch of things and like make this up.
Yes.
That's what the general brief was like. So you'll see a lot of like rough edges in our costumes, like like different materials stitched together. It's not like one
Yes.
that was made with a lot of like money. It was things that were like scrappy pieces that were put together. And Melby took that brief and he like took it to another level. He and his entire costume team. He has a brilliant associate called Lefty. He's got an, another like there was an Anas, like a bunch of people in his team like who just they're like rock solid. Like yeah, like just the best things to say about these guys.
Yes, I when I saw that auntie sari, I don't know, I cannot even express to you what I felt inside. It was so creative, like you say, so relatable, and I was just taken back to thinking about the wrestling ring when I watched it WWE, and then I see the auntie and she's just doing like this with the sari. It's like something else. For me, that was the thing that impacted me the most. Like it's still so fresh in my mind to see that auntie with the sari, and there, it, I loved it
Oh
so
man.
much. So
That role has
please,
been played by a very well-known person called Lakshmi Menon. She's Malayali based in Dubai. She's a big influencer on Instagram as well. You should see some of her like reels, incredibly funny. So like when we told the team that like Lakshmi Menon's going to be playing that particular character, they were all like, "Wow, that's so fresh!" And she's very funny in the film. It's very like funny, warm performance. Like it's very nice to see her.
yes, it was very nice the way you cut it, the teaser. I'm excited to see the trailer, how it will be. I will not ask you for any dates. I know it is very complex type of thing. Here, guys, we don't try to fish for information, so chill. Here it is for you. And now we will go to talk about cinema.
Mhm.
And I have one question, and it is something that has been in me from a while.
Mhm.
That we both have Mammootty Sir and Mohanlal Sir.
Mhm.
They're amazing actors. They're known in India. They're even known outside of India. What makes them different from each other? Because I know they're both superstars, but
Mhm.
you know, Mammootty Sir, he does X type of movies, then Mohanlal Sir does Y type of movies. So for you, what is the main difference between them?
I actually don't know if I can like point out if I'm the best person to point out a difference because I I actually see what makes them common factors that make them like legends. Instead of differentiating factors, I actually like as you can tell from their huge body of work, you can see that they are the kings of versatility. Like, you know,
Yes.
like both of them, like I always tell like I discuss with my friends like how even when I want to like let's say if I'm auditioning someone, right? If we're auditioning a person, I would like to always do the audition in this sort of a close-up. Because like
Okay.
what can an actor do when they can't show their hands, when they can't show their body, when all they can rely on are just their facial expressions, right?
Yes.
Now think about all the different close-ups that you've seen of Mammootty Sir and Lal Sir. You know,
Yes.
it's you, a filmmaker can be so confident, so comfortable in placing such a tight close-up for an extended amount of time and just know that, these guys are going to kill it. So that's something that both of them can like do with ease. Like, even when it comes to like we have a lot of different like dialects or slangs of Malayalam and everything. The way how these guys like just nail different slangs. Because I've not been able to work with Mammootty Sir yet, but I got to assist on two films that Lal Sir was acting in, and like to see um, how easy they make it look. I think a lot of like different filmmakers have said this in interviews that um, they are where they are because they make their jobs look so easy. And God knows it's not. Like, I know for a fact that it's not easy at all because I've worked with a bunch of talented people, both experienced and new actors. And for them to get into that sort of headspace when they are surrounded by like 200, 250 people with like the direction team yelling right before a take and like the cinematography team running to get like one thermocol and like the art direction team running to get something and like, there's a costume assistant trying to do something and like there's your makeup artist coming in like doing one final
Yes.
job all while you were trying to get into a particular headspace, right? Not at all easy. Possibly the hardest, possibly the most difficult job on set. That's what makes them legendary. So if you ask me what makes them different from each other, I genuinely don't know. And but I do know the common factors that make them the legends that they are. And I've also got to admit at this point that like my knowledge of their filmography, like before like the late 90s and all that, is very limited. So like um, I've seen a lot of their like older work, but like I can't like place most legendary work. Which like if you talk to my direction team, like they can tell you this with like they can tell you about all these films better than anyone else can. Like if I knew that also, I could have maybe given you a better answer about like their particular specialties.
Yes, they definitely are amazing at what they do, and it is something whenever I see it in a movie that they do this close up to the
Hmm.
face,
Hmm.
and I feel many people skip this part, that how hard, like you say, it is to be able to act with only this portion.
Yeah,
You have to be able to see the emotion in the eyes, and very few people are able to do that. That
yeah,
they can give you goosebumps, that you can get emotional, that you can feel fear. It is some next level work, and something that I always try to praise whenever I give my reviews and I see it in a movie, that it is really hard. And even for me, something that I always think is how they memorize all the script. It is mind blowing that they're
tough.
able to
Yeah, yeah,
remember
yeah,
every single line.
yeah.
Like the day we'll get an actor in the podcast, that's the first thing I will ask. Like, how you remember your lines? I'm not
Yeah,
able to
yeah.
remember
Yeah.
anything. It
But I've
is
also seen in terms of remembering lines, it comes more easily to certain actors than it does to some other people. Like, I've heard like Mr. Prithviraj, like an actor like
Mhm.
him, he can just like look, just like quickly browse through a page and he's ready to go. I've seen some actors, yeah, I've seen dubbing is extremely easy for certain actors, whereas some other actors need more time. So such differences are there. So another thing like the dialects or slangs, right? Dulquer Salmaan, like he, I think he started learning Telugu only after he started working in Telugu cinema. But like when you watch him speaking Telugu, he sort of like makes it look easy. Like at least when I watch it, it looks very natural. Like Tamil also comes easy to him. Hindi also, he's done Hindi work as well. He makes it like look easy, whereas most other actors might not be able to make it look that easy. So yeah.
Yes, yes, it is true. Even I struggle with Hindi till nowadays. People say that no, your Hindi is good. No, it is not good. I know. Till the 1 year I still said मेरा हिंदी अच्छा है. Then I learned हिंदी अच्छी है, not अच्छा
Yeah,
है.
yeah, yeah. Who would have thought like in certain languages like objects have genders, right? Like in Hindi and all that, like there are genders for certain objects, I've seen. Like who decided
Yes,
those?
yes, yes. I got so confused because but
Yeah,
Hindi is a language. No, अच्छी है.
yeah,
हिंदी लड़की है.
yeah.
अच्छी है. Okay.
Yeah.
But let's see.
But I've
We
also,
also want to
yeah,
learn. Mhm.
yeah, I've also got to say in terms of because you mentioned like learning lines, right? I think I personally think it's way more exciting to see like I think more difficult than like saying your lines after having learned them properly. I think it's more difficult to stay present while saying your lines and also being able to improvise and add on to it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that has been my biggest learning experience throughout making my first film, where um, I think I used to think that like, planning your film and your shots and your scenes and your moments to the T um, makes you a better filmmaker. Not necessarily. I still stand by the fact that like, you need to go in fully prepared and then leave some room to improvise. So that like if you improvise and it works, great. If it doesn't, you came in with a plan already. So it works. So to see, especially because our film is a comedy as well, to see how my actors, both the experienced ones and just as well the new actors as well, how they take their lines and how they add on to it, how certain pauses can be different and everything, and just how difficult that is and how easy they make it look and how well they do it. Like all my characters, they're very different from each other, and the actors playing their respective characters, like how they sort of like bounce these different energies off of each other, and how unselfishly they do it. Like, my lead actors give our supporting actors their space to shine. My supporting actors make sure to ensure that my lead actors like look or like their performances come out better. So there's so much support going around. And let's say, like a lot of our scenes are group scenes, as you've seen in the teaser as well. So when one person decides to improvise, like, because they all learn from the same script, but when one person goes off script and decides to improvise, the next challenge begins. The All the other actors have to stay present in the scene, reacting to that improvisation while also remembering their lines and improvising on their next lines as well. So there's like a huge chain of events happening, which I just sort of have to like brief my actors and just like sit back and watch. Like I don't mean to oversimplify my job, but after I'm done briefing them, it's all in their hands, right? And it's been so nice, and it made my job on set way more fun, personally, just to see how with every new take, how these guys would like treat things a bit differently, and no takes would be the same. So that's made our job in the edit room also like much more fun because like we can use this part from this take and this part from this take. It's so nice. So um, I think the biggest quality of my main cast in this, both my lead cast and my supporting cast, has been how they're so present and so giving. Like, and like a lot of these new names, once the film comes out, like whether it does well or not, these guys are gonna like shine. That's one thing I'm very sure about. So, because we were very careful in the way we cast this film, it took us a lot of time, but I think we found the best fits for all these characters. And I have so much confidence in my actors, and I can't wait to see where their careers will take them.
Yes, and if, like you said, if you think of even Hollywood movies,
Mhm.
back in the day, we have one example. This is The Wolf of Wall Street. The most iconic parts of that movie, especially, they were improvised.
Yeah.
They were not on the script. They were just off script, and they became so iconic. They became something else, and I think most likely this will also happen in your film. That the things that people will remember the most will be these parts that no one planned for. That
Yeah,
it just happened, and it just came up.
absolutely, absolutely. It's especially in terms of comedy, what you think will work is very different from what actually works. Like when you
Yes,
show it to an audience, right? That's fun, but it's also incredibly scary.
yes, yes. It happens. Some things the audience can say no, it is a bit cringy, and then another thing can be organic, that you
Yeah,
will have even situational comedy, which is a form that I personally like a lot. That it is not only pulling off a joke, but something funny happens, and it is just funny itself. How it happened, like I guess
organically, right?
they, yes, like Hera Fairy, it has many things like that.
Yeah,
Like just the way he fixes his chashma is like it is so hilarious.
yeah, yeah.
It is
Absolutely.
like that.
Absolutely.
All
But
right.
here's another scary part of like being the director of like a comedy scene or a comedy sequence, right? Um, what I find scary about that is when you treat or like later when you edit a comedy sequence or something, you've got to do it. It's a very presumptuous sort of treatment that you've got to do. I'll explain what I mean because the pause. Let's say you have a shot of your actor delivering a comedy line that you think is going to be funny, and the way you treat the people's reactions or the pause that comes after that line is assuming that people are just going to laugh at it. So you've got like even the music that comes has to be in such a way that it's assuming that people are going to laugh at it. Like that music is like almost like a cue that here they just said something funny, laugh, or like a reaction has to essentially say, yeah, they just said something funny, like give them a plain face look or like something like that. So, but you don't know whether that will work or whether that will like backfire or not. And the last short film that I made before making this feature had a bit of like dark humor to it. And a lot of the moments that I thought my friends would like laugh at were not the parts that they laughed at. They laughed at like certain other like dialogues that were not even like meant or treated to evoke laughter. So it's yeah, it's funnily magical how this plays out.
Yes, it is. It is tough to think in the place, because one thing is, what do you think people even would like? Like
Mhm.
even when we have this habit of posting our bloopers, and many times my husband even puts something that I said and I don't remember I said it, and then people are saying, "Oh, it was so hilarious," and I'm like, "What was hilarious?" And then I think that they're laughing because of something else, but they're laughing at something that I did. Like how
Mhm.
it is funny, it is beyond me. And I think something like that is obviously yours is huge scale, and you just sometimes it is amazing to see what people think of your work. That
Yeah.
you are thinking, no, it is something else, and then something else happens. Like for me, you were saying this in, and then I told you, "Ha, the deal with the sari." You're like, yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yes, it is something else. And now I'll go to these questions that I wanted to ask you about horror. And I told you beforehand that I would ask you. And why do you think India still struggles with making genuine horror films?
Oh, because I think it's incredibly tough to so I've slowly started like looking out for my next story to possibly direct, right? And like anytime someone suggests the idea of like doing a horror, I'm instantly a bit extra scared because there is like the last time I saw horror being treated in a truly fresh manner was in Get Out. Like, by
Yes.
they added a whole new layer to the horror that like Jordan Peele was trying to show us. And then there are like little ways in which like you can like push the boundaries of horror. Like you had Lights Out, which like really like just tapped into every kid's like fear of like the dark and all that. Then I think you have recent films like Weapons, which added a whole other layer to their idea of like like a bit of horror and like gore and things like that. And I think I recently saw the trailer of a film, of a horror film, in which a dog is the protagonist.
Yes, good boy.
Yeah. A good boy, right? Yeah, yeah. So things like that, like sort of like pushes the boundaries of like what is horror. And I personally would be very scared to try horror out unless I get something that fresh. Like, oh, sorry, A Quiet Place. I don't know if that counts as horror, but like that was such a fresh treatment of like that particular genre. I don't think it fully counts as horror. So yeah, like I think that's the very reason why like we've not. Yeah, no. So I was saying like even in Malayalam, right? I think DS Irae is the first horror film to come out after quite a while. Like before that,
Yeah.
it was the last major horror film. I think was the same director Rahul Sadashivan's Brahmayuga, which had
Yes.
Mamuka in it, right?
Mammootty Sir, yes.
Uh, yeah, so I guess that's just pretty much it because like it's it's very difficult to treat horror in a fresh way. I hope to be able to do that personally someday, but
Have you ever thought of maybe making a found footage film? Because in India they haven't done it.
really, are you sure?
Yes, there's yes.
I,
Till now, we only found one found footage movie when it comes to horror, and it
Mhm.
was question mark, like just a question mark.
Okay.
That is the name of the movie. It's on YouTube. But other
Oh,
than that, we haven't seen any found footage horror in India.
okay. Oh, I've never actually thought about. I didn't even realize. I was almost pretty sure that someone must have tried it out because we've even got like time loop films coming into India right now, like Tamil,
Yes,
like in Tamil and all that. So I thought things like that and all would have been done, but it would be very interesting to try something like that out.
do try. Give us
Yeah.
credits. Just
Yeah,
kidding,
yeah,
but
sure.
make it.
Yeah.
We do want to see a found footage because, in our opinion, we love found footage movie. There are, I
Mhm.
think, in within the some genres of horror, it is one of the most scary that are there. Like we watched the Bella Possession, it was so scary. Then we have the Gonjam Asylum again. So there are so many movies that you will see that because it feels so realistic compared to other big production horror movies.
Mhm.
Even if it is big production, found footage has this thing that it makes it feel a bit more genuine. That you have your actors running with cameras or
Yeah,
putting
yeah,
something in their heads and all, and then the people are watching it. There's something a bit more eerie
yeah,
compared to other movies that we have seen. So
yeah,
if
yeah.
someday you get
Feels way
someone to
more
make a
live.
found footage, yes, yes, exactly. So if one day you make, please let us know. We will be so happy.
Absolutely,
That is our pitch. Please make a found footage movie. We'll
absolutely. I'll
be
give it a shot.
ecstatic.
Yeah. I think
And
just in general, like whenever people might not, general audiences might not notice long takes, but like films like found footage films, right? As part of the genre, like the moments or the scenes are like don't have many cuts in it, right?
yes,
So people may not notice that, but they can for sure feel it. They can feel that like they're way more in the moment because there's no like manipulation of the video being done compared to like general cinema, right? So I think that
yeah.
always works out, which is why anything which has like extended takes and all just feels way more organic or just puts you in that moment much more.
Yes, and another thing is that you get these different POVs. Usually, when you have a movie, you get mostly this the main actor POV, or you get takes with different people together. But when it comes to found footage, you see everyone's reaction to a chain of events. So
Hmm.
that also makes it more realistic, as if you were in there with that person. That you're, oh, this person had this reaction, and this person is behaving like that.
Yeah, that's true.
So please, will make it one day. I'll be so happy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Another, I remember there was an interesting found footage sort of film. Like I think it's a film called Chronicle, which is like a footage sort of treatment, but it's also like a superhero-ish sort of treatment as well. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it generally, but
Chronicle, yeah. It came out like
I'll
almost a
watch
decade,
it.
ago, I'm pretty sure. So like that's the
I'll
one
watch
where
it.
yeah, these guys discovering some sort of like superpowers and then like it all going wrong and everything. But it had a sort of found footage treatment to it, if I'm right.
Okay, I'll watch it. That
Yeah.
I'll watch it 100%. And when it comes to horror films, or in general, I can say, which directors inspire you?
Mm, when it comes to horror films, I think the first name that just came to my head was Jordan Peele, because all the work that he's done, whether it's Get Out or even Us, I genuinely enjoy it. But right now, I love Rahul Sadashivan's work over here. Like, wow, no need to even think of like Hollywood film, because Rahul Sadashivan, the sort of work that he's been doing here with all three of his directorials has been like very fresh, and like he saw a space that not many filmmakers were occupying, and he sort of like went um, like full force into it, and he's like killing it. He sort of like owned that space. But other than that, I'm actually not able to like think of any particular filmmakers. Can you tell me some names, and I'll like, is there anyone you have in mind
I'll tell you something very genuine. I'm very bad with names.
for
I
names? So,
know this Indonesian. This I think it is Joko Anwar. He makes really good Indonesian films. That is the one that I can like pull out of my head right now. And yeah, like mostly I know, if I can tell you by country, I can tell you that do try Indonesian films. They have very different concepts. Check them out. They're on
okay,
Netflix. The
okay,
stories, they're not like what we usually watch in Hollywood. I'm personally tired of Hollywood movies when it comes to
mm,
horror.
I feel you.
Uh, Japanese, the old ones. We also have Koreans. I don't know if you watch Exuma. It is a
No,
very different type of horror film. It is not so much of jump scares, but it is more focused on the story. So if you get the time, you can
yeah,
also watch this Oddity. It is a very good
I've
film. We
heard of
watched
this
it
film.
in
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, watch it. We watched it in the film festival in Mumbai, and it was
Oh,
so good. It was really good. In many parts, you will get generally scared. So,
okay.
if I could give you a recommendation, skip the Hollywood films because
Yeah.
nowadays they're just making pretty similar equations for everything. And give a chance to. We have also watched Kurdish horror and Turkish horror.
Mm-hmm.
They're different. Because what happens, and this is something that I always mention, that if in India you're making a horror film, you should focus on your expertise. Like in
Mm.
here, you have a lot of Hindu people, you have a
Yeah,
lot of Muslim people. Do based on that. What do you
yeah,
people believe? What do you guys have in your culture, instead of just taking this
yeah, yeah.
influence from the US? That being realistic, no one here will go first to a priest. They will
Mm-hmm.
go first to, I don't know, they will first put this Hanuman Chalisa instead of doing the other part. So that is the main thing about those other films, that they take their culture into like, they put it a lot when they do the rituals, when they do whatever they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the films, they're so successful. So if you get the time, watch it.
For sure, for
I'll
sure.
send you a list if you want, that which films I
Please,
think you might
please, please.
enjoy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, because they have many things.
Okay.
And
I don't think I'll be able to watch anything until a film comes out now. But after that, I'm gonna like. There's so many films for me to catch up on. Like, please send me that list. Like, I
yeah,
will
no
definitely
problem.
watch it.
I'll send you. You just let me know like what type you like. It
Yeah,
was,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, there's different. Personally, we don't watch that much of these zombies or slashers.
Mm-hmm.
We're more into this paranormal genre. But if
Right.
you tell us, we can search for that. Now we will go to the rapid fire because I know you have to leave soon.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
go. Yeah, I'm checking the timing for you. So we
No.
will go to the rapid fire question.
Uh-huh.
And one Malayalam film every Indian should watch.
One Malayalam film that every Indian should watch. My God, that's so much pressure. Can it? It doesn't have to be like my all-time favorite, right? Just something that comes off the top of my head.
Yes, besides Chatha Pacha.
Yeah, yeah. Besides Chatha Pacha, for sure. I'd probably like if I want to introduce Malayalam cinema to someone, I probably go for like an easy like recommendation like Kumbalangi Nights or even like Bangalore Days.
Okay,
It's
I'll watch it because I
e-
haven't watched it.
yeah, I think these are all films that are easy gateway films into Malayalam cinema.
Okay, one underrated Malayalam actor.
Underrated Malayalam actor. I actually don't. I think a lot of our best actors are getting the credit uh, that they deserve. But I see there's one guy that's really like up and coming. I can't name any of my film's actors, no?
You
I
can
can't.
name.
Yeah, then I'd mention all my entire cast, like my new actors.
The complete
Uh,
cast. Please insert the cast in here
yeah,
with
but
all the names.
other than my cast, I'd probably name this young upcoming actor called Sandeep. I think he's doing some really interesting work, and his lineup also looks pretty interesting. But again, like I don't think he's underrated. I think like he's getting a lot of love right now. Uh, the work that he's done this past year has been pretty interesting, and I think he's got a good lineup as well. But yeah, that's the first name that came to my head. Even though I want to name my actors, I'm just gonna wait for you guys to see the film so that you will name them before I have to.
Yes, we will let you guys know. Very, we're excited for this film. I'll just tell you that. Now, a Bollywood movie you enjoy.
Oh, all Imtiaz Ali films, I'd say, like Tamasha, Rockstar, and even Zoe Akhtar films, like Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, Dil Dhadakne Do. I love all of those. I'm actually a big fan of this film called Lutera as well. I love the uh, the zone or the space, the world that they had set. But if I had to pick one film, I'd just say Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. I've watched that film,
Okay.
rewatched it countless number of times.
Okay, we'll put it here for those of you that haven't watched it, guys. A film you wish you had directed.
Parasite.
Good choice. Horror or drama? What's next for you?
Between both, what would I pick? A drama.
Yes. Okay. And one actor you want in your next film.
The any of the two big legends over here. Because I've assisted him a lot and I've also like grown up looking up to him, I'd probably say Mr. Mohanlal now. There's one more reason which we'll get into like later.
Okay. Dream director to collaborate with.
Dream director to collaborate with. Um, in any language?
Any language.
You know what? I'm just going to say Christopher Nolan because that's the first name that came to my head. He's one of my many favorite filmmakers, but I'm just going to say Nolan right now because I'm trying to keep it rapid for you.
In here in this podcast, we manifest. We're manifesting here for you.
Thank you so much.
Lokah or Kantara? Which one excites you the most?
Lokah, because Kantara is was amazing, but I'll tell you what I felt with Lokah, like in a minute, right? Because when the teaser and the trailer came out, I happened to be there for the trailer launch as well. So what I saw was an incredibly fresh world, and like the mood that they had set, the sort of action just looked different. That something like that Malayalam was not used to. I'm going to get into a bit of Lokah spoilers here, but I kept thinking like, will this be a bit too Western? Will this be a bit too like unrelatable for people here? Because uh, like we were getting the vibe of like a Malayali vampire sort of film that just looked very Western. And then I went for the film first day first show, and there was at one point right before the interval where they just flipped it all, and that made it incredibly inherently Malayali. You know, because they started off with something a Western sort of base, and then they just flipped it, and then became very Malayali, and then like it just became so much fun after that. So as a Malayali, I would any day go for Lokah. I'm not saying what they did because in case anyone watching this hasn't seen the film, I really want them to experience it for themselves. So I love how they sort of like brought those Western aesthetics and like gelled it well with like the sort of like folklore that we've heard over here. So yeah.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with your choice.
Yeah. You
Okay.
you saw Lokah as well, right?
I saw it in the movie theater and it
Awesome.
was amazing. It was amazing. And I really like also Tovino Thomas. It is like my favorite till now.
He had so
And
much
when I
fun with this character, no?
yes, it is like from when I saw the first movie that I saw of him was 2018. And from then it was like I I I just want to watch this guy's films. He's
Yeah.
amazing. He's so genuine. Like in general, Malayalam actors are amazing. I cannot tell you one that is bad.
Yeah.
But sometimes you connect more with someone.
Yeah.
And in my case, it was like, um, I love Tovino Thomas, and for me, DQ is like Sundar Hero. It is like that.
Really. I love personally love Tovino as well. You should, if you haven't seen this, you should watch a film of his called Maya Nadi, which I personally love a lot. There's also a Gusti a Gusti film that he's done in Malayalam called Goda, which is really nice.
Goda.
Tovino, Tovijan's comic timing is really nice. I've met him in person. I've spent quite a bit of time with him, and he's one of the kindest one of the kindest actors that I've seen. And I actually sent him a teaser, and like he immediately responded saying, "I saw this, and it was really nice. All the best, and all that." So very kind. It was so nice to see how much fun he had with his character in Lokah. Like some performances, you see it and you just know that this character
Yes.
is genuinely having a blast.
Yes, it happened to me with this Minar Mutli.
Minal Murli, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, like in my home, I'm the one who always promotes this movie because I watched it alone. I
Oh,
was like,
right.
I'll watch it because Tovino is there, so I'll watch it when it came on Netflix. I watched it by myself, and then it was like, you have to watch this. I told my husband, watch it. Then I told my mother-in-law, watch it. And then when I see people outside that tell me they like superheroes, like, have you watched this movie? It is on Netflix. You can watch it. Like, I'm
Yeah.
free publicity for Tovino. So, I watched this movie. It is great. You can
Yeah.
feel it, but he likes what he does, and you get that energy off screen. It is so contagious what he does. So yeah, it is like someday
Yeah.
I'll meet him.
He's really special.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Last one. Describe Chatha Pacha in one strong line.
In one strong line, like a log line, or just like what the heart is.
The hardest. One short sentence.
It's about a bunch of friends who grew up with a strong love for wrestling, trying to stick together and make it as one.
Good description. Very similar to what Shihaan Sir said.
Yeah.
From
Oh,
this, you can understand how much you're in sync. You can understand the synergy that you have on with the entire crew. Right? We had many questions, but generally we just skip through that and we just continue the conversation. And that's when you know that it was a great conversation. When you
thank you.
skip the
I felt the
entire
same.
script.
Yeah, this flowed so smoothly. I didn't realize the time until you mentioned it.
Yes, when you told me that you have a timing is I was keeping an eye for you because I know that only through our text I understood that you have a very good nature. So I knew that the podcast will flow, and yeah, we just skipped whatever we had and we just continued the conversation.
Oh,
And it
thank
was
you.
so natural, and thank you so much for joining us. I had a blast with
You.
you.
I had a blast with you as well. I'm not used to doing like podcasts like this. It's my first podcast. So thank you so much for making things so comfortable for me. Like I was very nervous getting into this because like I've done one interview before, but I didn't have to see myself. But right now I can see myself the entire time. But because this conversation was flowing this nicely, I've hardly looked at myself except at a couple of points to check my hair. So yeah,
I'm really glad that we made your experience awesome. And again, thank you for joining us for your first podcast. That
thank you so much.
it is an honor that you came here first. And
Pleasure is
we
mine.
hope that we'll be able to continue to give this type of environment for people, that not being about gossip, but just being about loving cinema.
Oh, I
So
have no doubt that you guys will continue to do this great work. Like, uh, go ahead, kill it. Like, like,
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
so
And
much.
we will watch Chatha Pacha first day, first show,
First
wherever
day,
we
first
get it.
show, please. Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
pakka it will happen. For a long time, we're just in there on the project, promoting it with other people in that community, and we know it will be successful because the first time that you guys released something promotional, very few people gave any reaction. And then when we were checking for the teaser, we uploaded our content, and then we saw there are people that they have a lot of followers. They were sharing the content. We were so happy for you guys. that they're coming to know about this. So
Yeah.
crossing
So
fingers, we wish you the best of lucks. With that said, thank you so much for watching us, guys. See you next time. Bye.
thank you so much. See you.